This is an FBI bulletin, and it details symbols used by organized pedophiles. And it was published by WikiLeaks in 2007. There are some people who think this document is bogus. These people are wrong, because the pedophiles who created these symbols did so a decade before this FBI bulletin was leaked. The origins could be a bit further back, of course. But officially speaking, the quote, boy lover logo was copyrighted in 1997. Evidence for this can be found on boywiki.org, a group of pedophiles who refer to their most prominent symbol, this symbol, as a quote, spiringle. These symbols are also in a 2006 New York Times article, but in black and white. Some of these pedophiles have even created, quote, art to symbolize their evil deviancies. According to BoyWiki, modifications and variations of these symbols will be tolerated and indeed are encouraged. Pedophile networks like to communicate together in public, cryptically. And I would argue that the existence of these symbols in the first place really does validate this notion. And if we combine that with the benefit of plausible deniability, then the question is not why would pedophile networks use these symbols, even to this day. The question is, why wouldn't they?
More than a dozen men, including Disney employees, are facing jail time after they're caught in an undercover sex bust. The men wanted to have sex with the underage boys and girls.
Disney workers among the 11 Bay Area men arrested and accused of keeping child pornography.
Transitioning from Disney into this was easy. I don't know, getting molested from your 6 to your 14 seems like way harder circumstances.
Not talked about in the media at all. No. Epstein was, but this wasn't talked about at all.
He's 73 years old and he was just sentenced to 7 years. It makes you wonder, all those years, his position at Disney, being the vice president, what else has he done? I had to dig for this story, and it's not on any mainstream media news outlet anywhere. It makes you wonder, all those years, his position at Disney, being the vice president, what else has he done?
This man, Brian Peck, worked at Nickelodeon. He was convicted of raping a child on the set. And a year later, he was hired by Disney to work on the show The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Seriously, you should have some pizza later.
In 2012, he was hired by his longtime friend, Charlie Sheen, to work alongside him on the show Anger Management.
When we were growing up, it's no secret that producer's sleeping with this actress or that, or watch out for that guy, he likes little boys.
And according to Corey Feldman, both Brian and Charlie had a similar penchant for young boys.
He said Charlie Sheen.
Shit, I've personally heard a story about Charlie and Corey Haim, probably, I don't know, at least a dozen people probably in my inner circle knew.
He told me Charlie bent me over in between two trailers and put Crisco oil on my butt and raped me. In broad daylight, anybody could have walked by, anybody could have seen it.
It's difficult for a sex offender to get a job at Walmart, much less Disney, much less around kids. But somehow, Brian Peck was able to get both. How was that possible?
I've loved horror movies since I was a kid.
Director Victor Salva served only a brief stint in jail for raping a young boy and even filming some of it. He has since enjoyed a lucrative career, hired multiple times by Disney to direct feature-length films.
We ordered a bunch of pizzas and we let Sal do every weird thing he could think of to the guys who delivered them. We ordered a bunch of pizzas and we let Sal do every weird thing he could think of to the guys who delivered them.
And everything I've ever known, I've ever loved, stranded.
It is not just a law enforcement problem, it is a societal problem, and we all need to work on it together.
Again, a symbol is not everything. But law enforcement is made aware of the symbology of all criminal enterprises, pedophiles included. Why did they do this? Plan International is an organization that, quote, supports thousands of children worldwide. The head of their Belgium division is Regina de Prabandere.
Mesdames et messieurs les parlementaires, monsieur le ministre, c'est un grand plaisir pour moi de vous rencontrer pour témoigner des réalités vécues par les filles dans ma communauté et dans mon pays. Je m'appelle Adeline Remou, j'ai 17 ans. Et je viens du Bénin, plus précisément de la Takora au nord du pays. Je viens d'avoir mon bac et dans quelques jours, je vais entamer des études de droit à l'université. Je veux devenir magistrat.